It's been a while since I did one of these, but there really is no shortage of these games, so here's 5 more furry games that you should play. I missed the Steam Summer Sale this year while working on bigger projects, but my list follows a few rules that make this not really a problem. I always include one you can emulate, one from the Game Pass, and I try to include as many as I can from different systems. This is so you can play some for free right now if you want to. Also, I don't add anything I haven't played myself, so that includes no lewd games. There's nothing wrong with them if that's your thing, but it's just not something I play, so I can't really recommend it. I'm going to start immediately and get us into the games, but first, if you like my videos, please do the YouTube things and share this video with a friend. Since my videos have been going up, YouTube has been paying more attention and demonetizing more of my videos. So if you can spare a couple of bucks here and there, consider becoming a patron or buying a super thanks below the video. Lastly, if you want to see more games content, you can sub to my gaming channel, Proto and Pals. Follow my Twitch on twitch.tv/SeraProto, and you can see some more mini reviews on my Steam Curator page, and it's not all just furry games. Fuga, Melodies of Steel.
This is the tale of 12 children. And the Tyrannus, a weapon of ancient times that will change their fates forever. Boarding the giant tank, they traverse the wastelands to save their families, captured by the Burman army.
I played this one a little bit, but the game leaves an immediate and strong impact. If you remember in the last one, I recommended Solita Robo, an expensive limited-run game for the DS about a furry mech pilot. Fuga is made by the same dev and is set in the same universe, but it's the complete opposite price-wise, because you can get it on the Game Pass. In Fuga, you play a cast of furry cat children who are trapped in the midst of a war. You wake up one night and your village is being raised by the Bearman army. The children you play hear a voice over the radio telling them to go to the outskirts of town and into an ancient cave that recently opened up due to the Bearman army. You venture inside and discover an ancient magical tank, and thanks to the willpower of the children, the tank runs again, and you take the tank and vow to stop the Bearman army and save your families. The characters are all very cute, and all the art is this beautiful hand-drawn sketchy style that's like slightly yellowed to give it a dated look. The combat is mostly done in a turn-based RPG style where you use rock, paper, scissors mechanics to get around enemy defenses. It's a little dialogue heavy, but it's all necessary in order to get you more attached to the characters, and there's lots of opportunities for the cast to bond and get to know each other. Every duo of characters has lots of dialogue, and as they talk, they become better friends, and you learn more about their past and relationships to the rest of the cast. In exchange, you unlock a plethora of bonuses, level ups, and stat ups on top of the game's main leveling mechanic. The game also has a mechanic that leads to some really hard choices. If you're struggling with a fight, you can activate the tank's soul cannon, a super weapon that can annihilate an enemy in a single blow. But in order to activate it, you have to sacrifice one of the children to the tank.
Ready to sacrifice everything, even a friend's life.
The game even has you do this immediately, so you can see just how devastating this easy button choice can be. I haven't finished it, but I definitely recommend it. It's a terribly sad and heart-wrenching tale of children who have lost their families, friends, and have to kill people regularly, and somehow they can still always find a way to smile. So if you want to be a 2-year-old who unalives people, this is the perfect game for you, and if you really like it, there's a sequel, and they're both on the Game Pass.
Let me tell you about the friends that invested all they had on a shady site that looked like a scam. It said buy this magic cards to play the coolest game and fight against your friends with no consequence. You know where to find me, this is friends versus friends. You're a time, but I am not afraid. You will need a helmet, play friends versus friends. Friends out, get it like we'll buy some bullets. Here's the tower and hide your heart. Get a friend, make them have a big freaking head. Friends versus friends. Friends versus friends. Friends versus
fairly new release, this game is an arena multiplayer first-person shooter that uses a card mechanic to change things up. The goal is simple. You and a friend spawn in, you get one handgun, a handful of cards, and you try to kill the opponent in a best of 5 single life deathmatch. In each game, you and a friend will use your decks to draw some cards. Each card has an ability that can do things like replace your handgun with a sniper, throw bombs, heal you, lower enemy health, fill the enemy's hands with garbage cards, and there's a barbed card that makes it so that anytime they play a card, they take damage. And a lot more weird cards. This makes the game super silly and unpredictable. Best part, every character is a furry, and they have their own passive effect. You can play a moose, cat, Doberman, polar bear, and more. The devs also confirmed that the moose character is trans, but you probably could have guessed that because her special move is a double jump. The only downsides of the game is it gives off these casual vibes, but it's far from casual. It advertises itself as a party game to play against your friends to ruin your friendship, but you can only play the game in 1v1 or 2v2s, making it far from a party game. In 1v1, you can private match against a friend or play alone against randoms online. In 2v2, you can have up to 3 friends and take turns swapping teams, or play with one friend online against teams of randoms. The casual party game option is there if you want it, but you'll struggle to have fun as the people playing this game tend to take it very seriously. It works because, under this cute, friendly aesthetic, is a fully competent hardcore shooter. So if you like CSGO or Valorant, but it doesn't have enough furries for you, then this is your shooter. You can get it on Steam for just 10 USD. New Super Lucky's Tale. The previous two I mentioned are pretty heavy games, a game about war and sacrificing children, and a game about exploding your friends into a fine red mist. This one is more fun and casual. New Super Lucky's Tale is a character platformer that plays pretty similarly to the 3D Mario games. You play Lucky, a small anthro fox, and you jump, spin, and dig through a variety of stages. The game's pacing is a huge highlight of it for me. You'll always have a 3D stage, side-scroller stage, boss fight, and a minigame stage. This mix-up every world allows you to get comfortable with each form of play without actually spending too much time with it and getting tired of it. If you're looking for a more casual and relaxed game, this one is it. And it's on the Game Pass. Make sure you play the new version, New Super Lucky's Tale. The original is the same game, but the new version has some improvements to the gameplay that make it a more enjoyable version to play. While streaming it, the complaints I mostly saw is that it doesn't seem to be as good as Mario's 3D games and some speedrun lingo, and well, not every game has to be a speedrun game. It's okay for a game to just be cute and fun, and it is. Unless you ask Mabel. She hates the game, but I think she just hates platformers in general. Check this one, I'm gonna change the game. It's gonna be much. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. New Super Lucky's Tale just crashed. That's crazy. It's like so insane. And like so crazy. We're not playing Rune Factory. We can play Fuga. Let's play Fuga. Hollow Knight. You probably played Hollow Knight already, but it's a Metroidvania Souls-like game where you play as a little anthro bug knight. It's a pretty fun game that's challenging as its genres are known for, and features unique boss fights and platforming mechanics. It's very atmospheric as well, being a very good mix of creepy and cute, and the fans of the game are pretty passionate. This is one of those games that you'll find tons of fan art and people making their own OCs based off of the game. You can try it for yourself on the Game Pass, but it's also on pretty much everything. Spyro Reignited Trilogy.
I think I smell a barbecue.
Alright, last time I said I wasn't going to do any mainstream games, but I think I should still say one every so often for the sake of historical value. You've all played Spyro. If you haven't, here's me telling you to do it. Do it. Play Spyro. Spyro is a character action platformer starring a young dragon named Spyro. All the dragons have been turned to stone, so you need to defeat the bad guys, collect gems, and free the dragons. It's a really simple premise, and the game is executed perfectly. It's an easy game, but at the same time there's a lot of room for mastery of the gameplay and its mechanics, and the only thing I have to do to prove that to you is to tell you that there's over 100 speedruns on speedrun.com, and that's just for the Reignited trilogy. This franchise is massive, spanning multiple entries on pretty much every platform. The furry factor here is characters like Spyro and the NPCs like Elora, who are either part animal or anthropomorphic themselves. I really think you should play even just one Spyro game. A lot of people would say it's kind of mandatory furry content, especially since Reignited remade the dragons into dads. And I know there's some of you out there that think this is the peak male form. So get playing. But there are a lot of entries, so if you're going to start anywhere, I'd suggest starting with the Reignited trilogy. It's a beautiful remaster of the game that brings it into the modern era while barely changing the main gameplay itself. So it's like exactly as you remember, but like graphically better. Honorable mention, Gunfire Reborn. This had a DLC recently, but I mentioned Gunfire in the previous video. If you want to see the last video, check it out. The video will be on the end card. But this DLC adds a red panda girl with a pet mech and an owl with a very strange mechanic that I really don't understand. If for some reason you took a break from Gunfire, now is a good time to go back. The red panda is pretty easy to play, and the owl adds some serious mechanical depth that is just begging to be mastered. Alright, that's it for this one. Remember to like, comment a sheep emoji, subscribe, and if you like this video a lot, join the Patreon at bit.ly/SeraProtoP. If we get enough patrons, I can pay editors to make more content, and if we get high enough with monthly payments, I'll disable mid-roll ads across all my videos. Thank you everybody for watching. Stick around past the credits read, and check out the last 5 furry games video I made for even more recommendations. Bye-bye. Thanks to all of my patrons. People like these make it so I can continue to chug Mountain Dew and accrue Cheeto dust on my fingers. So thanks again to Azaru, Ninjasum, Colorado Blue, Ceres, Blonsk, Kit Chimera, Linky, Vader-san, Creeper Kitty, Sly, Moonman, and extra special thanks to the newest patrons, Cryptid Artha, Korth, The Magic Wolf, and Mimsy. If you want to join the Patreon, you can do so too by going to bit.ly/SeraProtoP. Make sure you spell it just like it is on screen. It's case sensitive.